Good morning, everybody. And as usual, happy Saturday. I'm Coach Ray. Thank you for joining me for today's stick mobility class. So for today's class, you probably don't notice, there's a squat rack right there. We are going to be getting into some Dunphy squat variations. So we're going to do something a little bit different with it today by actually changing the leverage, right? So we're going to actually, typically we do it with the stick closer to our body. We're going to lengthen that leverage by actually pushing the stick out a little bit further, which will allow us to sit a little bit more upright into that squat there, okay? Also, we are going to be working in with some split squat variations as well as a row variation with a little bit of rotation. So it's going to be a little bit fun here. So the other equipment that I do have a pad or a pillow, whatever you have to kneel on, that's going to be a little bit comfortable for your knees. And as always, don't go any ranges of pain, or if you find that you're having a little bit too much discomfort, we can always manipulate the positioning or range of motion that we're getting into, all right? So let's go ahead and warm up. So I'm gonna take the stick. We're gonna do the feet and ankles first since we are doing stuff that's more hip dominant. So I'm gonna take a stance a little wider than shoulder width, okay? I want my toes pointed forward, and I want the stick to be directly in line with my center line here, all right? I want my hands to be roughly about chest height, and the stick is angled in towards me, okay? Just a little bit. So I'm gonna drive the stick down with about 20% tension, and I'm gonna bring my right heel up. I wanna make sure I'm on the ball and toes of all 5 toes. Ball. And I'm gonna bring the right heel down. Once it makes contact with the floor, bring that left heel up. Good. Bring that left heel down. Now bring that right heel up. Now shift into it. So we're going to kind of rotate a little bit, shift into it, add a little more tension, bring it back to center, right heel down, bring that left heel up, shift, weight onto it, okay? Back in and down. Let's go a couple more. Bring that right heel up, shift. We want to add quite a bit of load here. Back to center, right heel down, left heel up, shift. All right, you want to allow the knees to track over the toes if you can. Back to center. Let's go one more time each way. Right heel up, shift. Okay, try to get even further. Back, right heel down, left heel up, shift. Good. Come back to center and relax. Okay. So now we're going to do here, we're going to focus on laterally shifting the heel. So it's going to bring that left heel up, ball and toes. I want to shift my heel towards my center line. So I want a big toe here. Now I'm going to shift out and away. I'm keeping my weight centered, right? I'm not shifting or leaning to my left. Now I'm going to bring that heel inwards, and it's just the heel. Shift the heel out. Good. Shift that heel in towards the center line, and shift the heel out. Back to center and down. Okay? Let's bring the right heel up. Same thing. Shift that heel towards the center line, in this case towards the stick, and then shift the heel away from the center line. You're going that pinky toe here. Shift in. Good. Shift out. One more time. Shift in. And shift out. Good. Back to center and down. So we're going to do pelvic tilts now, changing position. So I'll go from the side. We're going to go from a split stance position here. So I'm going to have my right foot forward, all right? And I want the bottom of the stick to be angled in with the ball, to be in line with the ball of my right foot here. So my right foot's forward, stick's angled in towards me. That back foot, I'm actually going to have that heel lightly elevated off the floor here, okay? Hands are still at about shoulder height. We're going to drop down a little bit here. So I want to make sure my knee is stacked over my ankle, okay? Now, from here, I'm going to lightly drive the stick into the floor, about 15% tension. I'm gonna do a posterior tilt, so I'm gonna tuck my pelvis in. I wanna feel my left glute contract, okay? Driving that stick down still. Now I'm gonna do an anterior tilt, okay? I wanna get that curvature in the low back. Posterior tilt, breathe. Left glute should be fiery. Anterior tilt. Let's go a couple more. Posterior tilt. Good. Anterior tilt. Last one. Posterior tilt. Excellent. Anterior tilt. Back to center and ease off. Switch sides. Okay. I'll face forward here. Gonna be in that same position. All right. Stick is angled in towards the ball of the toes. Arms straight. Okay. Shoulders down. Load that front leg a bit. Okay. Ball and toes of the back foot. Drive the stick down about 20% tension. Posterior tilt. Put that right glute fire. All right, you're gonna get a stretch in the front of the hip and a quad. Anterior tilt. Good. Posterior tilt. Good. Anterior tilt. Posterior tilt. Excellent. Anterior tilt. One more time. Posterior tilt. Good. And anterior tilt. And ease off. We're gonna come back up. Now we're gonna do here. We're gonna take a wide stance, right? We're gonna focus on lateral tilting now. This one we're gonna go with the square position. So, stick is angled in towards me, okay? Still, and I'm gonna be driving the stick down. I wanna keep that tension. So shoulders down, ribs to hips, drive the stick down with about 20 to 30% tension. I'm gonna do a slight posterior tilt, okay? Now I'm gonna bump my right hip up. Good, then bump up my left hip. Good, bump up the right hip. Bump up the left. Good, bump up the right hip. Bump up the left. One more time, bump up the right. And bump up the left. Good, back to center and relax. Okay, so now we're actually gonna get into a single leg RDL here. What I wanna do with the stick, I'm gonna take it and place it behind my upper back. And I have my hands stretched out as far as I can. If you'd like, you can grip like so, almost like a squat bar or a barbell. But I'm just gonna go with it on my upper back like so. So from here, we're gonna focus on balance, so this is gonna be pretty challenging. We're gonna get into a single leg RDL, and we're gonna focus on rotating the spine little by little here, okay? So, you're gonna start with my right foot down. I wanna grab the ground with my toes. I'm gonna hover that left foot, okay? Now from here, I'm going to hinge, okay? As much of a hinge as you can handle. All right, so now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna rotate the left end of the stick down. I don't want my hips to rotate. Now I'm gonna rotate the right end down. So to balance, it's getting really challenged here. Rotate the left end down. Should be feeling that hip working here, as well as the foot and ankles. Rotate the right end down. Remember, we're not rotating the hips. Rotate the left end down. Good. Now the right end down. Whoa. Back to center. Good, come up. Let's switch sides. I'll actually kind of go from the side here because I'll see a little bit of a better visual. So, left foot down, grabbing the ground with the toes here. Hover that right foot. Same thing. Just go on and hinge. Get as far as you're comfortable with. Rotate the right end down. Nice and slow. Keep it controlled. Good. Now the left end. Good. Rotate that right end down. Good. Left end down. One more time. Rotate the right end down. And the left end. Back to center. Come up. Excellent. Good. Now, we're going to focus on the spine, as if we didn't just do that. So, I'm going to take a wide stance. I'm going to step back a little bit more. So I'm going to take a wide stance. Right foot is forward. I want to make sure this right leg is loaded here, okay? Now, I'm going to focus on rotating towards my front leg. So I'm rotating to my right. So I'm going to have the stick in line with my center line here, okay? Actually go from a little bit of a side profile. Bottom of the stick is angled to be right where the heel is, okay? Or in line with the heel. Now my hand is going to be roughly about shoulder level, okay? I'm going to drive the stick down, okay? And the back foot is, the heel is elevated. And I want to make sure I'm staying loaded here. I'm going to drive the stick forward with my left hand, open up to my right, and then reach back with my right hand. Good. I'm going to bring my right hand in and rotate back to center. I'm going to do that a few more times here. So drive that left hand forward, rotate to your right, reach back with that right hand, breathe, and come back in, rotate forward. Let's go 2 more. Drive that left hand forward, reach back with the right. Good. Right hand in, rotate forward. Last one. Drive forward with the left, reach back with the right. Good. Bring the right hand back in, rotate forward, and he's off. So, switch feet. Left foot is going to be forward now, okay? Same position, hand roughly about shoulder height. Okay, back heel is elevated. Make sure that front leg is loaded. So, drive the stick down, reach forward with the right. So you see I'm going to naturally rotate here, and then reach back with the left hand. Bring that hand back in, rotate forward. Again, drive forward, the stick, reach back with the left. Hand back in, rotate forward. Let's go 2 more. Reach forward. Good. Open up. Excellent. Back in. Last one here. Reach forward. Open up with the left. Good. Back in. And ease off. Good. Okay. So now we're going to do here, we're going to focus on stretching up the spine, opening up some extension, also with a little bit of rotation here. So I'm going to take a relatively wide stance, let's say about shoulder width here, okay? Kind of go from the side. The stick is going to be angled in towards me, but only slightly. I'm going to have my hands, both hands on the stick, roughly about chest height, shoulder height. Now I'm actually going to specifically have my right hand on top here, okay? Because we're actually going to be rotating to the left, all right? So from here, I'm going to lightly drive the stick down to the floor about 15%. I'm going to drive my hips back and reach out with both hands. You should be feeling the upper back start to open up here. Make sure you're breathing. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to pick my head up a bit, okay? And now I'm going to rotate the stick over to the left, and I want my head to clear my shoulders. Come up and over. Good. Come back to center. Good. Let's go a couple more. Rotate to the left. Make sure your head clears your shoulder. Good. Let's go one last rotation. Breathe. Good. Come back. And come up. Excellent. Switch your hands. You're gonna do that same thing. Now we're rotating to the left. Sorry, the right. So from here, lightly drive that stick down, okay? Hinge. Drive that head through, chest towards the floor. Bring the head up. Rotate the stick to the right. Remember, make sure your head clears your shoulders. Good. Come back. Let's go two more. Rotate to the right. Make sure you're breathing here. Good. One last time. Rotate to the right. Bring the stick back forward. And come up. Excellent. Okay. Now we're going to do one last drill. So we're going to do a hip flexion to knee extension and a lean back here. So what I'll do here, I'll set up like this. So I'm going to have both feet together. So the stick's going to be on my right side. I'm going to be mobilizing that right hip. So the side that we're actually bringing up and extending out, that's the side I want the stick to be on. So from here, I want to have my hand roughly about shoulder height, okay? The bottom of the stick is in line with my toes. I want to drive the stick down with about 30% tension. I want to make sure the shoulder is pulled down, rib cage down. I'm going to bring my right knee up, and then I'm going to extend. And then what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to lean back and push out with that right foot. Then come back in to a standing position. You should feel that left glute activate when you do that, right? Now extend that foot out or hip out, back up. Good. One more time. Extend out. Lean back up. Good. Bring it back in and down. Ease off, switch sides. Okay? Into the same position. All right, start 30%, push down, make sure the rib cage is under control here. All right, bring that left hip up, extend the knee, lean back, drive that hip forward, back up. One, lean back, grab the hip out, back up. Two, one more time, lean back, grab the hip up. Three, bring the knee back in and down. Ease off and relax. Okay, now we'll get into the fun stuff. So I'm gonna shift the camera a bit because now I'm gonna be in the squat rack. So if you have a door frame, perfect time to get to it. So with this, we're gonna be doing the Dunphy squat. It's gonna be the first thing we're gonna focus on. However, how far we're setting up away from the stick and the angle is gonna be a little bit different. So something you might not actually be able to see on camera here, okay? So, what I'm gonna do here is, let me bring this forward a little bit more so you can see just a little bit better. Okay. Step back into the squat rack here. Now, typically when we set up, we want the stick effectively almost right in front of our torso here. I'm actually gonna take a step back. Now, the reason being, when my arms are stretched out, I want the stick to be vertical because I'm driving up still. This will allow us to sit deeper and more upright into that squat. So I'm gonna start by bringing the stick in at an angle, okay? I'm gonna take whatever squat stance is most comfortable, okay? Now from here, with my hands roughly about hip level, belly button to hip level, I'm gonna drive that stick up with about 50% tension here. I wanna make sure I'm grabbing the ground with both feet, okay? I'm gonna slowly bring myself down into that squat, still pushing up, all the way to that bottom position. Now extend those hands out. Good, hold. 3, 2, 1, stand up. Squeeze the glutes to the top and ease off. Good, so again, changing that leverage. So let's go a few more reps here, okay? Same position, grab the ground with the toes, hands are at the same height. Drive the stick into the top here, okay? Lower yourself into the squat. All the way down as low as you can. Extend those hands out. Hold. Good, slowly come up. Squeeze the glutes. Relax. Excellent. Let's go 2 more here. Okay. Drive the stick up. Slowly lower yourself into the squat. All the way down. Extend those hands out. 3, 2, 1, up. Good, ease off. 1 more. Doing good, doing good. Last one. Drive the stick up. Hold that position. Make sure you're staying tight here. Drive yourself down. Extend those hands out. Three, 2, 1, up. Squeeze the glutes and ease off. Whew. Okay, good. So, just changing the leverage there a little bit on that Dunphy squat. So, again, it just allows us to stay in a little bit more of an upright position. We're gonna switch gears and go into that row variation I was talking about. So, I'm gonna step back. This will act as a stable surface or stable corner, something for me to press the stick into. Now, stick's on the left side of my body here, and I'm gonna have my left foot forward, okay? We've done this before, but again, we're just adding in a little bit more rotation into it, so you should feel the lat and the obliques engaged just a little bit more. I'm gonna have my left foot forward, I'm gonna take my right foot back. You wanna take a pretty big split here, okay? Whatever tends to be most comfortable for you. Now, distance, again, it's just gonna vary per person, but you do wanna make sure that the end of the stick is out a little far away from your body, not too far. I'm gonna place my right hand across at the end of the stick here. What I'm gonna do now is I'm going to shift my weight forward on this front leg, okay? And I'm gonna kind of drop into a little bit of a, think about a lunge almost, but you're just keeping that back leg straight. Now from here, I'm gonna get a little bit of a hinge, and I'm gonna place my left hand effectively almost directly down from my left hip. Now from here, I'm gonna drive the stick back with both hands, so push, 60%. I'm gonna pull up with that left hand. Make sure you're still driving that stick back. Now from here, I'm going to rotate the stick out and rotate my right shoulder down towards the floor. 3, 2, 1. Bring it back to center and ease off. Come back up, take a second. We're gonna do that again. Now, we're engaging the lat, also getting a little bit of obliques with the rotation here. Right, so get back in that same position, load that front leg, keep that back leg straight, right glute tight. Drive the stick down 60 to 70%. Pull up with that left hand. Rotate that right shoulder down towards the floor. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Come back up. Ease off. One more time and then we'll switch sides. Okay, back in position. Drive the stick down with both hands. Pull up with the left. Rotate that right shoulder down. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Come up. Ease off. Switch sides. So this is a really good way to work on rows, getting a row variation in. So us having that the leg forward, that side is actively going into the row allows sometimes a little bit of a deeper connection to those lats. Okay, stick is back, right foot forward, left foot back. I'm gonna have my left hand across on the stick. Okay, same as the other side. Shift forward on that front leg. Same thing, drive the stick back with both hands, push. Pull up with the right hand. Rotate that left shoulder down. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Ease off. Push up. Good. Let's get 2 more. Shift forward, back into position. Drive stick down with both hands. Pull up with the right. Rotate that left shoulder down. Right shoulder back. Hold. 3, 2, 1. Back down. Ease off. Stand back up. Let's go 1 more. Get back into position. Drive the stick down with both hands. Push. Pull up with the right. Rotate. 3, 2, 1. Back down. And ease off. Stand up. Good. Okay. Now we get into that lunge variation. Switching gears again, I'm going to rotate the camera back over to the squat rack. Okay, so the focus here is to make sure we get our knee tracking forward as much as we can on this split squat variation. We want to load the quad as much as we possibly can. So it's going to be a little different here because I want that front heel just to be off the floor a smidge. I don't want it planted. Now, if you have any pain, discomfort, plant that heel down. Don't allow the knee to track forward as much as I'll demonstrate here. So, sorry about that. So you readjust the camera a little bit. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to start with my right leg forward. Now, I'm going to squat rack, so I'm a little limited on where I put my foot. So from here, sticks in line with my center, and I'm just driving the stick up to get some tension here, okay? So back foot is elevated, drive the stick up. I'm going to bring my right heel off the floor just a bit. Okay, not much. Now I'm going to shift my weight forward on that right leg, pushing up. Good, push up to that finished position. And then place the right heel down, take a break for a second. So, you'll have to adjust the stick as you need to, okay? So, same thing. Drive the stick up about 50%, right heel up, start to go down, allow that knee to track forward as much as you're comfortable with. All the way down, don't let that back knee touch the floor. Push up, good, place the right heel down, ease off. Let's go one more here, one more, okay? Drive the stick up, right heel up, shift forward. Good, really sink into that right hip. Push up. Good, ease off, place the heel down. Take a second here. Shake the legs out. Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Whoa, don't mind that. So, 6 in that same spot. Okay, same thing, drive the stick up, 50%. Lift the left heel off the floor just a little. Okay, drive yourself down, allow that left knee to track forward. Good, come up. All the way to the top, ease off. Excellent, let's go 2 more. Drive stick up, left heel up, shift forward, allow that left knee to track forward, sink into it, push up, and ease off. One last time here, folks. Okay, drive that stick up, bring that left heel up, allow that left knee to track forward, sink in. Push up. And ease off. Oh, buddy. All right. So now I'm going to turn the camera again. Okay. Now we're going to get into the deep fascial stretching. So, seeing as we just did some anterior line stuff, we're going to first focus on stretching out the hip flexors. Okay? So, place the pad down. I'm going to bring my left knee down. Right foot is going to be forward here. So, stick is going to be in line with the ball of my front foot. I'm going to have both hands on the stick here. My back foot is plantar flex, so I'm extending the foot to create some tension in the front line. So, hands are about chest height. I want to first drive the stick down about 20%, drive my back foot into the floor, should feel some activation here in the front, in the anterior tissues. Squeeze that left glute and tuck my pelvis. This here is just going to get a little bit of a stretch, or it might get quite a bit of a stretch if you're pretty tight. So focus on your breathing. Good. Ease off. We're going to go through the same series of activation again. So drive the stick down, back foot into the floor, squeeze the left glute, tuck the pelvis. Now shift your hips forward a bit. So you're going to get a bigger stretch. Really try to split those hips. 3, 2, 1. Ease off. Let's go one more. Okay. Drive the stick down, back foot, squeeze the glute, tuck the pelvis, shift forward. If you can, get a little deeper into it. Good. 3, 2, 1. Good. Ease off. And take a second. Just going to switch sides. Right. So, drive that back foot down. Okay. Squeeze the glute, drive the stick into the floor, tuck the pelvis. Focus on breathing. And ease off. Good. Okay, let's go 2 more. Drive the stick down, back foot, tuck the pelvis and squeeze the glute, and shift the hips forward. Remember, focus on breathing. If your breathing is getting short and very erratic, you need to back off of it a little bit, okay? Good, ease off. Okay, let's go 1 more time. Drive the stick down, back foot, tuck the pelvis, squeeze the glute, and shift the hips forward. Three, 2, 1, and ease off and relax. Good. I'm gonna move this off to the side. I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Okay, so now we're gonna get into a little bit of ninja flow. So I'm gonna take a wide stance. Again, it's always gonna be as wide as whatever's most comfortable for you, okay? I'm gonna have my hand at about roughly forehead height, and I want the bottom of the stick to be on the instep of my right foot here, all right? Now from here, I'm gonna lightly drive the stick into the floor. This just allows a little bit of tension in those lateral tissues. Now from here, I'm going to hinge my hips back, and the stick comes out to the side. I want to reach my hand towards the floor here, okay? Now, the stick should be directly to the side here. It shouldn't be above the head, going directly to the side. So those chest tissues open up, shoulder, rib cage. Now what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna reach across with my left hand, thumb facing down towards the floor. Then I'm gonna lunge to the left. Breathe. Gonna come back up. Let go of my left hand and stand back up. Excellent. Let's go into that again. Lightly drive the stick into the floor. Gonna hinge. Stick comes to the side. Get that stretch. Reach across with the left hand, thumb facing down towards the floor. Gonna lunge to my left. 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Let go with the left hand. Slowly come up. Good. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Okay. Same thing. Drive the stick down lightly. Hinge those hips back. And down towards the floor. Allow the chest tissues to just relax a little bit here. Good. Reach across with the right hand, thumb facing down towards the floor. Lunge to your right. Good. Come back up. Let go with the right hand. Come up nice and slow. Ease off. Let's go one more time here. Okay, drive the stick down. Hinge. Good. Hang out here for a second. Reach across with the right. Thumb down toward the floor. Lunge to the right. Breathe. Come back up. let go with the right, stand up. Good, ease off, wiggle those feet in. Okay, now we're gonna go into some bow and arrow variations here, okay? We're first gonna start off with the standard, then we're gonna cross our feet behind to get a little bit more of stretching those lateral tissues. So I'm gonna have my feet roughly about hip width, 6 on the left side of my body. I'm actually going to angle the stick in towards my midfoot a little bit more so I get a bit more of a stretch here. So left hand is on the stick roughly about hip height. I'm gonna take my right hand, reach up over the top, grab the top with my thumb facing down towards the floor. I'm gonna drive my hips away, that's the first movement. Then I'm gonna drive the stick into the ground lightly with both hands. And now I'm going to extend my hands out. Breathe. Slowly come back in. Excellent. I'm gonna let go with the right hand. Back to that starting position. I wanna rotate the stick a bit, okay? This is not all flexing in one way. Same thing. Right hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Drive the hips away from the stick first. Push the stick into the ground with both hands. Extend both hands out. Make sure you breathe. Not holding your breath here. Slowly come back in. Right hand off. Good. Now let's go ahead and switch sides. Okay. Feet are forward, sticks angled in. All right. Take that left hand up over the top. Grab the thumb facing down towards the floor. Drive those hips away. Drive both hands into the floor. Extend. Back in nice and slow. Good. Take the left hand off. Nice. Rotate the stick a bit. Okay. Same thing. Left hand up, over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Drive the hips away. Drive both hands to the floor. Extend. Three, two, one. Back in. Nice and slow. Take that hand off. Now we're gonna switch back over to the other side. This time, we're gonna cross that right foot behind the left here. So, we wanna try to make sure that both feet are planted, all right? I'm gonna have the stick angled out basically a little over a foot from my left foot, okay? I do wanna angle it out a little bit more here. Leverage-wise, it's gonna be a little bit more challenging. So, right hand up, thumb facing down towards the floor. Same cue, drive the hips away first, drive the stick into the floor, then extend. Gonna get a much, much bigger stretch in the lateral line. 3, 2, 1, back in. Take that right hand off. Excellent, rotate the stick. Let's do it again. Right hand up over the top. Drive the hips away. Drive both hands down. Extend. 3, 2, 1. Ease off, nice and slow. Right hand off. And across your feet. Okay. Switch over to opposite side. Left foot behind the right. 6 on the right side. Scoot over a little bit more. So, same thing. Left hand up over the top, thumb facing down towards the floor. Drive the hips away. Drive the stick down to the floor with both hands. Extend. 3, 2, 1. Back in. Nice and slow. Ease off. Good. Rotate the stick. Last one, folks. Left hand up over the top, thumb facing down. Drive the hips away. Drive both hands into the floor. Extend. 3, 2, 1. Back in. Good. Ease off and across your feet. And we're good to go. Awesome. Hope everybody had a good class today and enjoyed it. Wanted to try to mix things up just a little bit. Catch y'all on the next one. Have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves.